When did we forget how to play? That's one of the things I kept thinking about, Erin, when I was in this sound bath. I kept thinking, like, as adults, we forget how to play and how to have fun. And, in running all of these retreats over the past 2.5 years, I've seen so many serious adults. And there's reason to be serious. Life is hard. There's a lot that comes along with being an adult. And it's like we never have it figured out is what I feel like. Like, I'm 47 now, and I thought, okay, at what point do I, like, have it all figured out? And it feels like never. And so when you don't have things figured out in life and then it feels so serious and heavy, we forget to have fun. And that's where this idea of, like, how do I combine the fun of camp? I remember being at camp with you all these years and just dressing up at night and camp dance and lip syncs and skits. And there was this playfulness, this lightness that the staff would have and that the kids would have, and this energy. And we've just forgotten how to do that. And that's why I think this idea for Camp Flow Life is so important. Like, how do we combine the healing modalities of the retreats, which I can't wait to hear a little bit more about what your thoughts are on that, since you got to come and experience it this year. And the playfulness, the fun, the trying new things, the being challenged in new ways, making new friends. I mean, like, even making new friends as adults, like that. I think that's so hard for so many of us. We think, like, oh, if I'm not friends with someone now, I'm never gonna be. And I've made some of the best friendships of my life in the last just couple years in my life. And I'm curious for you, where do you notice that in life? Where do you notice that we're not playing, that we're not having fun? Why have you decided to come on as the camp director for Camp Flow Life? What is your experience with camp? I mean, I know you super well for a really long time, but I just would love for you to introduce yourself to people, and let's talk a little bit about Camp Flow Life and this vision that we are co-creating, not just you and I, but really everyone who's going to be there, because this is going to be the inaugural year, and that beauty of what happens when we just bring people together in the spirit and harmony of play and fun and community and friendship and healing.
Right. Yeah. I feel like that's why I've chosen into this experience, and especially Camp Flow Life. I feel like there's something about camp. There's always been something about camp. We called it the Kindle magic back then. And I feel like it exists in all areas of life. But something that I experienced in my journey back in May was, a lot of ups and downs and loop-de-loos. But at the end, I had just like such a beautiful, ethereal moment where I was sitting on the front porch and I could hear like field games or something going on in the distance. And I could hear people laughing, and I could hear cheering, and I could hear yelling and like support for others. And I just kept thinking about camp. And I kept thinking about more adults acting like children. And I work in a bar setting. So for me, I get to experience that often, adults acting. But in this environment, I think there's something so cool about what an individual can offer in that kind of setting, because everybody has some sort of little sparkle, magic, whatever it is that they can offer. And whether it's just giving yourself permission to be goofy, or I've had to take a lot of life serious moments of my life, out of my daily routines, and kind of save it for later because I have a 4-year-old. So when a moment arises where he wants to play, I'm going to play, versus, hold on, buddy, you got to wait because we're going to come back to this later. But when we have more opportunities for play and more opportunities to just let loose and see what we can offer and what we can add to the mix, how we can act a little bit more childlike and find that childlike wonder inside of us, and figure out what that can lend to the experience. And I think
Yeah.
through camp and all the years that we've done it, just giving yourself permission, and the adults alone, like once our staff would let loose and give themselves permission to really dress up, or wear a wig, or jump in the pool fully clothed, or whatever it was, like jump off this climbing wall, or sing a song, or dance like a penguin, whatever it is. It's like so ridiculous that you would never really have an opportunity or like put yourself in an environment where you're dancing like a penguin on a regular basis. But
Yeah.
I love it because there's something so vulnerable
Yes.
and magical and like a wall that just gets let down with fun. And I think that like at the Flow Life retreat, there's something so wonderful and magical about the vulnerability that you feel there. And it's so supportive and loving. And I think we can offer that in an environment where you can offer that and have experiences like that, but also go crazy,
Play.
you
Yeah.
know?
Play. This like originally when I started these retreats, I was really thinking like, oh man, it would be so great to incorporate camp, to have it be like a retreat in a camp. But I couldn't figure out, and I mean, it's such an easy answer, but at the time, I couldn't figure out how do we how do we take people on journeys? I can't have 50 to 100 people on journeys. Taking a hero's dose of psilocybin, that's a lot of work, and you have to have a lot of people there to hold that space. And there's just no way I would ever feel safe doing that with a large group of people. And that's why the retreats are 4 to 6 people, really small, intimate groups. And in a sound bath, the idea came to me like, Eva, why does it need to be 4 grams, like 5 grams? Like, you don't have to do that. There's so many people out there who are afraid of psilocybin, who are still, who are very much in that mindset still of like, oh, drugs are bad, or what, are afraid of what it's going to be like. And so the thought of like, let's just start with a really small dose. Let's give people an opportunity to come together, to play, to have fun, to reconnect with that inner child. And if they choose, I mean, everything's a choice, but to utilize a small dose so you can see how you can do arts and crafts or be in a sound bath or go into a meditation or go on a hike or a walk or, just sit in great, whole, beautiful conversation with other people on a low dose. And so that's where this idea, like, Eva, it can be a really low dose. Just introduce people to the medicine. They don't have to go jump into some massive journey and into that self-discovery, like maybe down the road. But at this setting, let's just give people an opportunity to try something new, whether that's the climbing wall or the zip line or being a part of the polar bear club. Like you said, jumping in with your clothes in the freezing morning pool. How do we have fun? I think about camp and like the bins and bins of dress up clothes that we have that all of these adults would show up for. And by the evening program, everybody's dressing up and they're on the skits and the lip syncs and the camp dance. And there's just this opportunity to be free. And I love that at the retreats. I love the vulnerability, the connection. I think that's something that we have done so well through our camp experience is we know how to bring people from all different walks of life together. I mean, our kiddos and our staff came from all over the United States, all different socioeconomic backgrounds and beliefs and the ways that they identify in the world. And we're able to come together and their family. I mean, almost instantaneously, but for sure by the end of the week, nobody wanted to go home. And it's just this magic that happens at summer camp. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's it. Let's just combine these two things. Let's take the most awesome parts of the retreat, the things at the retreat that everyone loves, breath work and sound healing and guided meditation, somatic work. And then let's combine that with the fun and the playfulness of camp. And let's create an adult summer camp that introduces people to this medicine in a really safe, gentle, easy way. And when I thought about like, who can I get to help me build this? It's like Erin FitzGerald, like the woman that I have known since my very first year of running this camp. I mean, you've been there since the beginning as a camper. You've been the camp director. You've been a camp counselor. You've really sat in every role. You know how to do this so well. And that's why I invited you to come to the retreat so you could experience this new creation of mine. And together being able to take both those visions and combine them into something so powerful and beautiful. I mean, I just know it's going to be incredible because we did camp really well. I mean, I don't want to say that from an ego place, but like honestly, we probably had one of the best summer camps in the nation. I
They're
would say. I think.
really good years for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right? So much fun. And even as an adult, like the reason I started camp was because I wanted to go. Like it was like a
No,
selfish
you
reason.
kept going, right? I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that. I feel like I've had a little bit of a void in that area for sure. I never knew any different from the time I was 10 years old until I was, what, 27, 28 years old, was either going to or running summer camps. And so for me, I don't even think we have a clue how cool this is going to be, because what's really awesome about our camp, the way that we do camp, is that it's so up to who signs up. It's like, who is going to be there? Who's going to create the magic? What we do at camp, like the activities that we're going to have available to sign up for outside of like the really therapeutic things, but like the fun stuff is really going to be dictated by who signs up and who we have on staff, and like what they can offer and what their strengths are, and what magic that they have to lend to this program. So that's going to be, I think that's what's most exciting for me, is like waiting to see what we
Like
can.
how it all unfolds, right? I mean,
Yep.
it's just like at the retreats too. I always say, whoever's meant to be there, they're going to show up. There's
Right.
like the synchronicity of the groups, and I'm such a huge believer in co-collaboration. And so you are invited, whoever you are out there listening and watching, to come and be a part of this adventure with us. Whether you come as a staff member and you come and contribute your gifts, your talents, or you're nurturing your love, whether it's working in the kitchen and creating beautiful meals, or running a tie-dye or arts and crafts,
Mhm.
or being a camp counselor, and really helping a small group of people to really feel that connection, that community in a cabin, or you come as a participant. Are you ready to just like tap into that inner child again and let loose and have fun in a safe way that, that's like alcohol free and, um, open-hearted and vulnerable and ready to really explore what it means to be an adult that knows and loves that inner child. We have forgotten that. We've gotten so freaking serious as adults, and the world is such a crazy place that why not come for a few days to the beautiful mountains of Colorado and explore and create something magical with us. So I'm super excited for this opportunity. I'm super excited to co-create this with you. Thank you so much for being willing and open to bring your organization, your vision, your connections, your love of people. You are such a giver and a server, and someone who people just they feel so safe with. And there isn't anyone better that I could think of that I would want to be on this journey with. And so I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for saying yes to this. I can't wait to see where this goes. Any final thoughts for this little introduction video for people who might be interested in Camp Flip Life?
Well, first, I want to say thank you. That was very sweet. And I would not be getting involved or being a part of this if I didn't know your heart and your I don't know, what you want to put out there, like the things that you have to offer this world, and how much you really do want to help create more connection and more love and more positivity in this world, more service. You've just always inspired me in that realm. I think, I don't know, my final thoughts would just be, give it a shot. If this is something that's calling to you, if this is something that you're like, wow, that sounds so fun, or maybe a little intimidating, but like, I would love to do that, just do it. Just sign up, ask questions. I'm hoping also that a lot of people who have already been a part of this experience, or maybe through the retreats,
Yeah.
are going to be a part of this experience. So maybe they won't be so intimidated by the medicine, and really have that open heart and open spirit to be able to make other people who haven't feel a little bit more comfortable, but also just the knowingness that this is going to be great. And this
Yeah.
is
And again, like everything's a choice. You could just come just because you want to come to an adult summer camp. Like you don't even have to choose into the medicine.
good.
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I'm really doing this for the camp part of it. Like I miss camp, since COVID. It's just like, where's camp in my life? With less and less kids being born HIV positive, I just knew over the last even just decade, like, dang, what am I going to do next? Where what if I don't have camp? Like, what do I have? Hence the retreats, and the retreats feel like my own little cabin. Like, that's just totally what I feel like. I feel like, oh, this is my own little cabin right here that I get to love and nurture. And I'm ready to bring these two ideas together and infuse them and create something so freaking magical. And I'm hoping this ends up being something that's even seasonal. Like, let's just do this once and see how it goes. But from there, I could really see this being a community that continues to build, and people want to continue to come back and be a part of something really, really special and really great. So thank you so much for being open and willing to be a part of this adventure with me. And thanks to everyone out there who's even considering it. And again, reach out to Erin or I. This is a really personal process. Everything we do is we want you to know us. We're in this for you. We are rooting for you. We are rooting for humanity and for our connection and all of this division in the world. It's just like, it's not it. It is not it. That is not how humans are supposed to be. We are supposed to be connected, and it doesn't take much. And I love that we're going to be able to bring our genius zone to people and help them to see that it doesn't take much to truly connect back into our own hearts, into that playfulness and with one another. So thank you so much for the opportunity to create this with you. Again, I'm really blessed and honored, and I love you so much. I've known you forever, and to be able to do this with you it just feels like, of course. And I can't wait to see who joins. Like, what camp people might be like, hey, what are you doing? I want to come.
Messages. I've already had people.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We have such a cool community of people, and you are invited out there. If you resonate with us, if this at all has like piqued an interest inside of you, please sign up, give us a chance. You will not regret it. That I can promise you.
Agreed.
Thanks, Erin. All right, I'm going to hit end record. Thanks everyone
You.
for being a part of this and sticking around and chatting with us and letting us chat with you and share our vision with you. And we look forward to what Camp Flow Life might be. You are invited, and we hope to see you there. September.
September.
Bye.